It's 90.3 FM KEXP in Seattle, streaming online at kexp.org and on our free mobile apps. Welcome to Live on KEXP. I'm your host, DJ Morgan. So excited to be in the live room right now for a live performance from our friends Hand Habits, who we haven't seen in a couple of years since before the pandemic, playing as Hand Habits. So we're going to hear some new music from the new album Funhouse, as well as the EP that came out earlier last year called Dirt. Looking forward to it now. Welcome back, you all.
Thank you, Morgan. Happy to be here.
Yay. Please take it away.
There's no difference between the two, between losing and finding you.
Canned Habits live on KEXP. That was More Than Love and No Difference from the new album Funhouse that came out this past October. Excellent new record. Looking forward to hearing a couple more songs. It's live on KEXP.
I remember when I found you, holding on to the gutter, soaking wet and white knuckles lying through your teeth. Stupid man, you were drunk again. She was just a child, you know, didn't understand. I didn't know she played guitar till I turned 27, and my distant cousin sent a box of memory certificate, authenticity. They were Aquamarine. Why can't you talk about it like I used to be on the other side of the truth? Now I never ask for details. Who the hell needs details when everything is on fire? You light a fire on the grave. Suicide. Lost a life. Well then who am I? Well then who am I? In the corners of your mind, in the joys of your mind. Who am I? Oh, who am I? Why can't you talk about it like I used to be on the other side of truth? Maybe it's too painful, and that's why you're so unable. A little bit of inside everything I do, everything I do. Now you were so embarrassed through a temper tantrum. I was only trying to help and took away the keys. She threw me out. I was on the street, a telephone call to ladies. Why can't you talk about it like I used to be on the other side of truth? On the other side of you. Who am I? Oh, who am I? Then who am I? Who am I? Well, then who am I? And who am I? And who am I? Tell me who am I? And who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Sometimes you just don't know.
Hand Habits live on KEXP. I'm your host, DJ Morgan. In the live room, that was 4th of July from the EP Dirt that came out in early 2021. Then you heard Aquamarine from the brand new album Funhouse that came out this past October. What a beautiful session. Thank you so much. That was great.
Thanks, Morgan. So fun.
Yay. It's so glad to see you back here again. I was just thinking, if this were SNL, we'd probably have like a jacket or a pin for you at this point for being here maybe the most of anyone ever.
Maybe a ring? Would you do a ring?
I would do a ring.
Okay.
Yeah, like a class ring, big ol' stone out with some engravings on it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of maybe who my competition would be for most KEXPs. There's got to be someone else who's like been on every session, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that, but
I feel like Courtney Barnett's been here a lot.
Courtney Barnett has been here a lot, but I don't think she has anything on how many times you've been here. As a matter of fact, you were just here this past November playing with Perfume Genius, which is awesome. So we're glad to see you back in such a short amount of time, and we're very glad to have you back playing your solo project, Hand Habits. The new third album, Funhouse, like I mentioned, is just so good. Congratulations on that. We've been loving it here.
Thanks.
Yeah. How does it feel to be out playing your solo stuff again?
At first, it was really disorienting. I think I'm so, as you know, used to playing in other people's bands, and this is the first headlining tour that I've done in almost 3 years, I think. On Placeholder, I did a bit of headlining tours, but yeah, I'm definitely comfortable being the person to the side, and so it's a bit of an adjustment. But after last night, it kind of settled in, and I feel really lucky to be playing with this band, and we've all been playing together for so long between Hand Habits and Perfume Genius, and so it feels really good, and something's coalescing in a way that I'm still adjusting to in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me so happy to hear that. Speaking of your band, would you mind introducing everyone?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm going to take this off. I'm really hot.
Oh, bye, George Harrison coat.
Bye, George.
We love you.
We love you, George. Okay, so over here is Tim Carr on the drums. Over here is Pat Kelly on the bass. Greg Uhlmann over there on guitar. And Alan over here on the keys.
Yay.
And also they're singing too. Their beautiful voices.
Love it. Such a great band. Thank you. Funhouse is so amazing, and it really sounds like the next chapter in your solo work. There's so much variation in sound in this album. There's rockers, there's synths, there's quiet songs. Can you kind of talk about what was the story about making this record? And I'm sure probably having to slow down and hang out during the pandemic had something to do with that.
Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't really planning on writing a record right away, and because I had just joined Perfume Genius and we were about to do a bunch of touring, and then as everybody knows, everything stopped. And so everything kind of that was in the back seat flew forward, and I had to sort through it. And I think from a song perspective, that was a nice catharsis to put it into songs. And then on the production side, I worked with Sasami Ashworth, who produced it, and we made it in the house that I live in with her and Kyle Thomas. And we couldn't go anywhere, and so we just created this world, and it was everything was very intentional, and I think I told Sasami I didn't want to just make Placeholder 2 and stay in my comfort zones and get outside of things that I stick to out of safety, and so we worked together a lot on what kind of atmosphere we wanted to create and take up different sonic spaces. I think I've pigeonholed myself in the past into folk or like guitar, or vulnerable is a word that is always thrown around, but I don't really know what that means, because all music is vulnerable.
Right.
But and so just embodying a little bit and taking up these different rooms of the house that I was visualizing as my psyche.
Nice.
Yeah, and sonically too.
Yeah. Is that where the name Funhouse comes from?
Yeah. I like thinking about the self as a house with a lot of different rooms and putting together these parts of ourselves, like architecture or something. And also it was just a fun house to live in too. I didn't know there was a Stooges record called Funhouse until after I decided.
That's okay. That was a very long time ago.
It was, yeah.
And it's a different record.
Of course.
It sounds like you had a lot of fun. Sasami seems like a super fun person to hang around.
She was really fun.
How was it having her produce your record? And had you really worked with somebody in that way before?
Not
with your
so
solo
hands-on.
stuff?
No, not so hands-on. Because with Bradley Cook, who did Placeholder with me, and Andrew Sarlo a bit, I had come in with demos that were pretty fleshed out for the most part, and it was more of a they were there energetically, very strong, and within getting band members together. But with Sasami, she came very prepared, and she had a lot of ideas. And at first, that was really intimidating. I wasn't used to that. But then I really leaned into it and just let the songs exist in these different outfits. And there were some challenges that I think really helped me grow as a musician and solidify some parts of my musical identity that I've always been a little nervous to explore. And there were some moments where I remember she said, you know, I would always come in with a no. You know, that would always be my first. I don't like it. And then it would dissolve into I love it and change and evolve. And there were a couple moments where she would say, do you really not like it, or are you just uncomfortable? Yeah. And more often than not, it would just be I was uncomfortable. And then in times when I didn't like it, and that was okay too, but I liked having her. We were such close friends, and she knows how to cut through me in a very Cancerian way. And would challenge me, and I that friction really helped for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
It must be really nice to have such a network of friends and like-minded musicians that you get to work with. What is it like to have that support system? Because I feel like not a lot of people have that experience, and I also feel like people in our generation, we're similar ages. I think we're finding that banding together and supporting each other and lifting each other up versus competition is something that seems to be a through line for us. What do you think about that?
I mean, I just am with you on that. Yeah. And ever since playing in Kevin Morby's band, but even before that, and when I played in bands in upstate New York and stuff, I played in everybody's bands, and everybody was really supportive. And anytime music starts to feel competitive for me, it turns on me or something. And it can be helpful sometimes, you know, just friendly competition that feels mutually supportive as well. But I feel really just so my support system with music, I think, is everything. And I think because I've spent so much time in other people's realms too now, like I feel like a connector in a lot of ways too, and bringing other people together. And yeah, I think it also creates the same thing that when music scenes used to get really homogenous and you would have like a sound. Mm-hmm. I think it like expands them and makes really interesting music too, and all the different players mixing together and creating something that's really, really unique. And I lean on that a lot. And when it was gone, it was really hard for those 2 years. Yep.
I agree. I'm totally hearing that, what you're describing about different sonic universes that are coming out of all of these people inspiring each other. The last time you were here back in 2019 for the last record, you were talking to Cheryl about finding confidence in your voice. And I really feel like I hear that in you, and I see that in you on the music videos that you've released recently for these for songs on this album, and also seeing you here today. How are you feeling using your own voice? And then also, you got to collaborate vocally with a couple of people on this record, and how did that feel? And who are those people?
Well, I have to just thank my vocal teacher, Mimi Raver.
Nice.
I was taking vocal lessons for the past year, it's almost been, and yeah, it changed my relationship with my literal voice, like the voice you're hearing now. It really changed my relationship. And also, I've been taking hormone replacement therapy for a couple of years now, and that freaked me out in a vocal sense because I thought it was going to go away or change, and it did change, but in a way, it put me so much more in touch with my body in a way that I've never. I feel like I wasn't even really in my body, and singing used to literally feel painful, and I would be straining a lot, and so I feel like I can just access so much more of the music now with knowing my voice better, and then just singing a lot too, and then collaborating vocally with people. I mean, Michael, Perfume Genius, sang on a song called Just to Hear You, and Sasami had written that part for him. Like, she was like, you have to ask Mike. I remember being so nervous to ask him too. I don't like asking people for things. But he was in the little closet at the house, because it's like a house studio, and just like shut the lights off and singing in our closet covered with Kyle's clothes, and that was great. Nothing was done live just because it was COVID too, and we were all pretty separate. But who else sang on the record? Sasami's voice is all over the record, and Yeah, I think she arranged the song Control like in an hour or something. It was
Wow.
really wild to see. And then I'm blanking on who else. Oh, and Kyle sings Concrete and Feathers with me. And yeah, I love the way that 2 voices or 3 voices or 4 voices can really blend together to create something so different. And it's been fun to feel like I have permission to do that.
Yeah, you definitely do. It sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on such a great record, and I'm
Thanks,
so
Morgan.
glad you're out on tour, and so glad you stopped here. Thank you all very, very much for your time today. That was an awesome performance.
Thanks, Morgan. Yeah,
I'm
thank
sure
you for
we'll-
having us here.
Of course. And I'm sure we'll see you again very, very soon.
I bet, yeah. Probably sooner than we both think.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well,
I'll
thanks
get my
again.
ring.
Yeah, yes. We'll make sure to have that next
All right,
time.
thank you.
And thanks to all of you for tuning in today. All of these sessions are made possible with your support. If you'd like to support Live on KEXP, you can make a gift anytime at our website, kexp.org. And thank you again. It is Live on KEXP.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.